Welcome. We are going to install Docker and Docker Compose on our Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. It's an older model of Raspberry Pi. I open command prompts in Windows and I will type the following in the terminal. SSH. Let me think here. SSH. My name at the IP address of the Raspberry Pi. So this depends which username you gave yourself, or if you didn't configure it before using Raspberry Pi Imager, then it's I think gonna be Raspberry Pi or Raspberry. But if you did configure it before, so that you already have a connection to internet, if you plug it in, wireless, etc., then it's probably the username you gave it. Then an @ the IP address you set it to in the image process. Then it's going to ask you for a password, and I will type in the password. As you can see, this is the main thing, and I am going to first want to update so that we are sure that we are up to date. As you can see, we are up to date. Let's clear the screen, and now it's going to be a little bit more exciting. We'll type in sudo apt-get install docker.io-y sudo apt-get install Docker Compose -y, and I will also myself do && and make all the folders, but they are already there, so that's not what I'm going to do now, because then we'll run into errors. Let's check. First comment installs Docker, second comment installs Docker Compose, and I have enabled auto yes. Let's hit enter. Be right back. It's gonna take like 20 to 25 minutes because it's a Raspberry Pi. It can even take up to 45 minutes if you have a very old one or a 2 GB or less RAM. So now the terminal asks us which services should be restarted, because sometimes when you update, upgrade, or install stuff, you need to restart stuff, and if they made it like smart or user-friendly, you will see a menu like this. I don't know whichever services these are all. Some I know, but the rest it's both hocus pocus to me, not that good in Linux. I'll just choose tab and hit space, and then it's always good. Now, when we type in clear to make a little bit more room, we can check if Docker is installed using Docker PS. That just briefly shows us. Oh, I forgot sudo. One moment, sudo Docker PS. It's very simple because this just shows all the containers that are running. And we don't have any containers yet, but because the command works, that means Docker is installed. To get the specific version, you type in Docker space -- version, and the same with Docker Compose, Docker -- that's with one dash in the middle. It's a little bit confusing sometimes. Also, that Docker is not Docker but Docker EL, but it doesn't matter. -- version. This shouldn't take so long, but that isn't a problem. Now we can say, okay, we go to the root of a file system. Now you see a folder called Docker. I have this already made, but let's assume we don't have it already. We'll type in my case, rm Docker. I don't get this, but that's a weird message. Maybe with sudo. Yeah, it was a sudo command. So now we have the same as you guys, just not a Docker folder. Let's make a Docker folder. Sudo mkdir Docker, and we also want folders in that folder. So because I'm loving efficiency, we'll type in ::, space again, and we'll do the same. But first we'll need to navigate into that folder, so we'll say cd Docker. Then we are going to make a new command, space, etc. Space. And we're going to make our first container folder. So the first container you need is Podtainer. And after that, Nginx. But first container you will going to need is Podtainer, the container. And I'm going to search which two storage solutions they want, because that depends a little bit. Let's see here. Podtainer, install Podtainer. We will So here we have the deployment requirements for Podtainer, and it says here, but it needs one thing, Podtainer data. That's it. So that's not a big deal. So let's just do yeah, that's really not a big deal. So let's put this away for now, and we're going to say sudo mkdir. Do we also need sudo for cd? I don't think so. Sudo mkdir Podtainer, and we can call it Podtainer like this. but because the command we are going to use in a moment from that handy website calls it _data, which is going to take the easy route here. So we have made all that. Now we also want to go out of that folder again. So let's do another command, space, colon, space, and then we're going to say cd dot. And then we are in the root file system, if I'm correct. But what you can also do, just to be sure, just do another one. And even if you want to make some tidy environment, you can even put clear in there. Hit enter, and that's it. In one snap of a finger, you have all those things. We have a folder called Docker, and when we navigate into it, we have a folder called container data. Isn't it beautiful? So we have Docker installed, Docker Compose installed, we have the Docker folder and the container folder. What's next? We're going to have the one command from the website, which is here, and you will need the Docker CE edition, Docker on Linux, and then here they have a, we are not going to use this because we don't want to use volumes. I will not explain that now, but in another video. You will copy that one command, but we are going to edit a slight part of it. So what we're going to do, you have here Docker 1, etc. Ports are the same, we'll just keep that, don't touch that. And what you will need to touch is this thing. Here you have container data, and then a double dot. The problem here is that, hey, that's weird. Huh? Oh, I see. The problem here is you'll need a extra space, like that. And then say Docker / container data. If I'm correct, but I'm not sure for now. Let's just copy the command, paste it, and hit enter. Oh yeah, sudo. I always forgot in this environment because I'm used to Proxmox, you know? I was going to do all those fancy Docker stuff. Docker is known for it's pulling the image, extracting the image, and putting it in the right place, making sure it's up to date, all with that magic one-liner command. And yes, you can even put that one-liner command in the initial command, and even put those commands in the very first command of this video, the update and upgrade command. You can put that all in one big file, which isn't even a file. So that's the beauty of Linux. And it can run on a Raspberry the same as it can run on a PC or on a smartphone. That's the beauty of it. We'll just wait, I'll be back in a sec. So now it's going to put the container to work, and that's this whole weird one-liner. To check this, you'll do the docker ps command. Remember? Oh, and I'm not going to forget sudo now. Like that. Here you can see that it's running. And we can even go to the page, because we have a web browser in the same network. You can see here it says 000. Ignore that, that's a bug. I don't know why. Everyone has that. So let's go to the IP address of the Raspberry Pi. And then we're going to do this, but also don't forget HTTPS. Otherwise the container isn't going to accept it. And then we're going to say 9443. Let the magic show. Oh, that's weird. That's very weird though. That's very weird. That was weird. It first got to Google, but doesn't matter. This is normal because it's just not a good SSL certificate. And to prove to you that it is normal, when I go to my own ISP router, it does the same shenanigans. I need to go to it like this. That's the thing first, but it does the same. So it's not a hobbyist problem only. So when you are here, you click advanced, accept the risk. And here you are in the beauty of container, and I can really feel that it's a Raspberry and not a PC because of the initial response. We're going to create a username, a password. Container is basically the heart of your Docker environment, and it gives a nice point and click thing instead of the terminal with all the green text all the time. Create user, and now you'll have this screen. Select get started, and then select the only option that there is, which is obviously called local. And what I would like to do myself, but that's just a personal preference, is to always change the environment names, but it's just a thing of me. And I will call this Raspberry Pi 3B Plus for no Docker and SPA elements. But that's my personal preference though. So only do that if you want that. Maybe this is nicer, so oh. Now we can just click it, and this is your things. And what this does, basically, it shows the same, which is already shown here. Oh. Fuck you, bitch. it just shows one container in the terminal. And when I go to the container web browser and I click containers, it also just shows one container. Now, to make this video not any longer than it has to be, one very cool thing of container is when you want an app or a interface, or you want to share some videos or photos with a family because of a wedding and it needs to go fast because they are going to drive a couple of hours again and then you won't see them, but you need to get that video to that person, but all your iCloud accounts are full and you don't want to pay for extra storage. What can you do then? You take that Raspberry Pi, go to container, select stacks, and from stacks, templates, you will see all ready-made stuff. You can just click, set up a couple of small things like a name, a share, etc., password, and then click deploy, and it's accessible, safe, SSL, everything. So what I really loved, because that's my experience, because that was really the situation with the writing and file, what I really loved that it was like point and click. So if I search here for file, you have file browser, you select that, you give it a name, and I will call this magical solution. Keep the rest all the same and select deploy. And the beauty of this is when you go back to the terminal, and I'm just gonna guess that it's like not done now yet. Oh. Maybe it's now done though. No, not yet. But when I want this to go, yeah, there it is again. Oh, there it is already. File browser. So it has the same value that the terminal has, but it's for some people, including me, just nice to have a thing. Look, these are my containers, instead of, hey manager, these are my containers. The managers don't get that. They want to see stuff like this. And it even shows us the IP we can go to. So that's 32768. So when we change this to 32768, and I will guess that it's HTTP for now, you'll have the file browser login window. And I know because it's a software which I work with, admin is the standard default password. But that's just the software itself. But as you can see, it's like instant Docker. So that's how you set up Docker and Docker Compose on the Raspberry Pi. And why you need Docker Compose? I don't know very sure, but it has to do something with container. But it also can be that maybe in this process we didn't need it yet, but with almost 70% of our containers you also need Docker Compose. So that's why I also showed how to install that. But for the rest, this is basically as tough as it's gonna get. And this is on a Raspberry Pi, but the same procedure is basically on a PC the same. It's only a little bit faster. So have a nice day. Bye.